Hello, thank you for being here. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to Classified Classes. Please like and subscribe. My name is Giorgio. Folks call me G. I am a social economist. A social economist is interested in how human behavior and institutions produce resource outcomes. More simply, understanding the flows of money to groups of people. My main goal is to share with people valuable information about the economy and economic strategies that I have found helpful. Most importantly, sharing with young folks that if they can save $5 a day, then they can retire a millionaire. Economics is a social science. That means that it involves history. Sometimes I will share about economics, sometimes I will share about society and history. This will be on economics, specifically the topic of industrial organization. Industrial organization studies how firms behave due to changes in the market or regulatory changes. The book I will be reading is entitled Industrial Organization, A Strategic Approach by Jeffrey Church and Roger Ware. This will be chapter 9. I am continuing recording this chapter, but I began reading it in a different way, and I will simply continue now. And that's why I'm not starting at the beginning of chapter 9. This is section 9.3.2, the centipede game. The attractiveness of subgame perfection is directly attributable to its ability to filter out any bite from non-credible threats. However, this very same feature also leads to outcomes that seem paradoxical. The paradox arises because the concept of subgame perfect Nash equilibrium requires that players continue to play subgame perfect Nash equilibrium strategies even though a player has deviated earlier. This means that players are required to continue to play their subgame perfect Nash equilibrium strategies, even though the game is unfolding in a manner not predicted by the subgame perfect Nash equilibrium strategies. A famous example of this is provided by the centipede game, Rosenthal, 1981. The centipede game is a simple finite game of perfect information with 2 players. Each player starts with $1. The first player can choose either stop, capital S, or continue, capital C. If she chooses stop, the game ends and each player's payoff is $1. If she chooses continue, then $1 is taken from her. $2 are given to player 2, and it becomes player 2's turn. Player 2 can also play either stop or continue. If player 2 plays stop, then the game ends and the players retain their winnings. If player 2 plays continue, then player 2 loses $1 and $2 are given to player 1. Play continues until one player chooses stop or 6 turns have elapsed. The extensive form of this game is illustrated in figure 9.7. The distinctive shape of the extensive form gives rise to the name of the game. The subgame perfect Nash equilibrium is for each player to play capital S whenever she has a chance. Consider player 2's choice at the last decision node. By playing capital S, she gets a payoff of 5. If she plays capital C, her payoff falls to 4. Hence, she will play capital S. Expecting this, player 1 had The next to last decision node reasons that if she plays capital C, she'll get a payoff of 2. But if she plays capital S, her payoff will be 3. As a result, she will opt for capital S. Backward induction to the beginning establishes the subgame perfect and Nash equilibrium strategies of capital S whenever the opportunity arises. For convenience, we have limited the number of turns to 6. However, the logic and equilibrium strategies would be the same even if the game could be played for a very large but finite number of turns. The subgame perfect Nash equilibrium suggests that each player receives a payoff of 1. However, by cooperating with each other, they could each attain a payoff of 4 or more, generally, open parentheses, capital T plus 2, close parentheses, over 2, when capital T is even and equals the maximum number of turns. Because of this feature, the subgame perfect Nash equilibrium seems counterintuitive and perhaps unreasonable. To see this, consider player 2's decision at her first node. The subgame perfect Nash equilibrium strategies suggest that in equilibrium, this node should never be played. If it has been, player 1 did not follow her equilibrium strategy. If player 2 really believes that 1 is in fact rational, then 2 should play capital S. However, the fact that player 2's node was reached casts doubt on the rationality of player 1, so perhaps player 2 should play capital C, in the hope that player 1 will once again play capital C. The concept of subgame perfect Nash equilibrium rules this possibility out. Instead, subgame perfect Nash equilibrium demands that players believe that other players will behave rationally in the future, even if the history of the game repeatedly suggests that players have not behaved rationally in the past. The way to test the predictions of game theory is to perform experiments. McKelvey and Palfrey, 1992, have tested a variant of the centipede game. They found that only 37 times out of their sample of 662 trials did the first player opt to stop in the first round. Most of the time, play reached later rounds in which the payoffs to both players were significantly larger. We return to this paradox below when we consider the finitely repeated prisoner's dilemma. Thank you for being here. And please like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. This is Classified Classes in Early Practice. I'm Mathis. Thank you.